Yeah, Richard, what was it like about this game that allows you to kind of do your work inside there, especially in the second half?
Um, could you repeat the question? Sorry, I kind of phased out. No offense.
That's okay. What was it about this game that allows you to do your work inside, especially in the second half?
I honestly think it's because we have amazing shooters, and it's if you have great shooters on the outside, it's really hard to kind of bring people in and crush down. So I felt like I had a ton of room to work in the post because I knew they knew if I kicked it out, it was going to be a bucket.
Hey, go ahead. Sorry, it wasn't Jeff. Matt Baiamonte, then Sean Walker.
Richard, you seemed a lot more comfortable today against Utah. Can you just explain, like, what's it like been playing with these guys and how you've been able to get more comfortable?
Uh, Honestly, it's just like after the year and a half of sitting out the redshirt year, I felt kind of jittery, and it's like it's a different kind of level of competition here at BYU. So I felt like first couple of games I was kind of struggling, but finally against Boise, I felt like I kind of hit my groove. And then in-state games are always these huge rivalries, ton of energy, ton of competition, and a lot of bragging rights. So I just came out knowing like, hey, I got to do something. Like I got to have that toughness.
Rich, it wasn't just you, but it seemed like the reserves tonight really brought not just energy and kind of a spark, but buckets and points. You, Spencer, Caleb was really big on the glass. What was it about kind of that second unit where you guys were just so motivated?
Um, well, so like to be honest, it's just like there's a lot of coach always talks about like outside circles and inside circle, and there's always people telling you what you got to do, what you need to do better. But the only opinions that matter is the coaches and your team. And that second group knows that it's like, hey, this is what the coaches expect of us. Like this is what we need to do. We go in. It makes it really simple. You know that you have to concentrate on just a few things. Like when I go in, I know I just need to get rebounds and I need to get stops. And then if I get a bucket, it comes. But just those two things to focus on. And it really helps all the secondary knowing it's like, hey, we just have this job to do and we need to execute it.
Go ahead, Hunter Miller, then Dick Harmon.
Richard, you talked about it a little bit, but I'm curious, as someone who grew up down the street, what was it like to finally be able to get a chance to play in this rivalry and have a little bit extra jitters and a little edge to you tonight? What was it like?
Man, this is like a lifelong dream. Like I grew up, my brother played here, and then I got to watch him play against Utah a few times, and just like growing up and just like, hey, I want to be part of this rivalry. Like it's been there for years, and it's just like the thing I love about this Utah rivalry is it's like it gets intense, but at the end of the day, it's like everyone just knows like it's a sport that everyone can compete in and just work their hardest. It doesn't get too too personal or explosive. It's just a strong, solid rivalry, and it's fun.
The scouting report on Utah.
Okay.
Did you have something you saw there that you could take advantage of last couple of days preparing? And then how did it compare with Boise State and some of these things not click?
So as far, sorry.
Explain how this worked so well.
So as far as it like from the post position, we saw that their post players were more slender, like they were a little skinnier, they were more shooting oriented, and we've got three different types of bigs. Like we got Matt Harms, who's like a giant person. He's got amazing reach and he's got great touch. We have Colby Lee, who's a great shooter, and I'm kind of like big and scary, like a bruiser in the post. So we just kind of knew that when we were approaching, it's like coach could put us in whatever situation was needed depending on their matchups. And as far as the offense we went, coach just put a big focus on working and ducking in from the post, working inside out. As opposed to Boise, it felt like we were kind of getting stuck on one side of the court. We put a focus on getting to a second and third side.